Hello everyone and welcome to another Hypermiling video on this Audi A5 TFSI petrol. So today my destination is around 172 kilometers, which you can see here, and I filled the car completely 100%, so the petrol tank is full now. The trip computer is reset to 0, and I'll update you on the way how much fuel are we consuming on the way, and I'll also fill up the tank once again at the end so that we know how much fuel did we consume during this run. So sit back and enjoy. Thank you. Well, as you can see, it's pouring down, and my wiper blades are struggling to keep my vision clear, and I'm struggling myself to sweep over the sound of the rain. So let's see how this adverse climate effects are going to affect our mileage run. I'll keep you posted.
This is so much harder than I thought, but I will give them everything I've got. One day I am gonna prove them wrong.
So quick update, after 10 kilometers, the car is giving me 13.1 kilometers per liter. I've chosen the kilometers per liter as the unit for fuel efficiency.
Has been changed due to current traffic conditions.
Thank you.
Please follow the national road for 27 kilometers.
Okay, yeah. So I've selected the kilometers per liter as the standard unit because I think it makes more sense to visualize the fuel efficiency in terms of how many kilometers can I get if I have 1 liter of fuel, rather than saying how many liters do I need for 100 kilometers, which many people use, but for me I think that doesn't make much of a sense, especially in an economy run like this. And I'll be using cruise control as much as possible whenever it's possible, plus I'll also be putting the car into overrun mode as much as possible, plus I'll also use all the fuel saving measures which I can as time comes. But one thing that I'll not be using is auto start stop, which I think doesn't bring much of a difference as well. Engine start stop may save fuel if you are stopping at a traffic light for a long period of time, but that will not be the case today, hopefully. And if I'm in traffic stuck for a long time, I'll obviously turn my engine off. But other than that, the auto start stop feature will be turned off for the benefit of the car, because I think it's too much load for the battery and the starter motor whenever you're stopping at a brake light or at a traffic light for 5 seconds. So that's a quick update. I'll keep you posted. So what I meant by saying overrun is actually when you let go of the accelerator pedal, the vehicles with electronic fuel injection, electronic control basically shuts off the injection to all the cylinders. So that's what we call as engine overrun. You can see in the instantaneous mileage right away, see it shows 0 kilometers per liter. Not 0, it shows infinite actually. So that means when the tires are rotating the engine rather than the other way around, the electronic control system just shuts off the injection so that we are not consuming any fuel at all during this case. So this is what I meant by overrun. This happens when you are going down the hill and you let go of the accelerator pedal. Even if you are in second gear and going down the hill, this still doesn't consume any fuel at all, contrary to popular beliefs. But yeah, this is actually an efficient way of doing economy runs. And the engine itself is a TFSI motor, turbo fuel stratified injection from Audi, and this is a very efficient motor with Audi valveless system, AVS, which is similar to the Honda VTEC in technology wise. So what it has is it has 2 different valve opening profiles. When you are under heavy load, then we have a larger opening for the valves. When you are under small load, then we have a small opening. And the engine is GDI, gasoline direct injection, so we have injectors in the cylinder head rather than on the port itself. But this particular motor has the port fuel injection as well, so it has both the injection modes, GDI and PFI. Because if you just have gasoline direct injection, there's an elevated risk of carbon buildup on the valves, because the outside of the valves are not getting cleaned by gasoline. So that's why this motor has a port fuel injection as well. So we will be injecting fuel in the cylinder head most of the times, but we'll also inject fuel in the port so that there will not be carbon buildup on the valves. So this is just a technical bit, that's all. So as of now we have covered 24 kilometers and we are doing pretty good. So I'm finally on famous German Autobahn, where there are speed limits actually, but yeah, there are stretches of Autobahn where there are no speed limits, so that's why it's famous for. And yeah, as per the Audi efficiency monitor, it shows that I'm getting an average, or I got an average of 16.3 kilometers per liter for the last 48 kilometers that I've driven this car, which is actually really respectable for a petrol car, a 4-door petrol car. This is an Audi A5 Sportback, which has the EA888 engine. The internal code name is EA888. The one thing that I found really interesting about this engine is that this engine can be really efficient when you want it to be, plus it can be really powerful and peppy when you want it to be. So it's one of those engines where the characteristics is so different from one mode to another. So that's what I found very interesting about this EA888 series TFSI engine from Audi, which is the same as the TSI engine from Volkswagen. So yeah, that's one small info about the engine, but as of now I'm getting 16.6 kilometers per liter, which is really good for a petrol car of this size. This is an Audi A5 Sportback. So let's see if we actually get this at the end of our journey. Surprisingly, the rain just stopped. It seems like it didn't rain here at all in the first place. So this is one of the things which I found to be really interesting about Germany. The weather is completely different if you travel 100 kilometers. Not the weather, but the climate can change really drastically when you travel 100 kilometers. So here it seems like it's going to rain now, but it hasn't rained yet. Yeah, so I'm still getting 16.6 kilometers per liter, which is good. And I'm in the rightmost lane in Autobahn, where I'm stuck with trucks and other slow-moving vehicles. But I think that's not an issue because I'm trying to get maximum fuel economy from this vehicle. So let's see. We have been joined by another Audi A5 in front of us. The interesting thing is we are traveling on Autobahn 5, which is called as A5. So we are in an A5 on A5 following an A5. So yeah. Okay, quick update. We have covered 75 kilometers. The board computer says 16.9 kilometers per liter. Still looks good. Let's see. So, quick update, after 105 kilometers, I've managed to average 17.2 kilometers per liter, which is really good for a petrol car from Audi. And that's the update. The weather is looking good and we are following a beautiful classic Mercedes-Benz. Another update, after 122 kilometers, we have managed to improve the fuel efficiency to 17.5 kilometers per liter, which is even better now. And somehow my navigation shows that the remaining distance is 26 kilometers, so somehow it managed to save close to 20 kilometers from the original planned journey. So I'll be refueling very soon and check if the board computer is correct or not. So I'll keep you posted. We have now just reached a Shell petrol station where I'll be filling her up. Board computer shows 17.8, but it just got changed to 17.8, so I'm gonna go with 17.5 kilometers per liter. We have covered 137 kilometers so far. So let's see. So I've just filled the tank back to the full. I always fill when the first click is there from the tank filling pipe, so that's when I stop filling. So that's the reference point for us, and I've covered 137.8 of 0.9 kilometers, and the bill here says I've used 7.7 liters. It was a little expensive here since we were filling from Autobahn petrol station, but yeah, I've used 7.77 liters of fuel for this 138 kilometers, and this averages to 17.7 something. I've just done the calculation in a calculator, which is equals to 17.75 or something like that. So what the car's board computer was saying was exactly the mileage that I got in the stretch, and this is pretty impressive for a car which has 320 Newton meters of torque. It is a big saloon car with 5 doors including the boot, and 5 people can travel in it. It's a Sportback, and I was not using that much fuel for my journey. It was giving me 17.7 kilometers per liter, which is super impressive for a petrol car. So that's the conclusion. We have concluded 2 things. The EA888 generation engine, TFSI engines, can be really frugal and really fuel efficient when you want it to be. Plus, the Audi's board computer is accurate to decimal points actually. So it is very very good to know that these 2 points are concluded now. Thank you.